every time we go through a door that's a familiar door, there's another door beyond it that leads us to another place that's, the door seems familiar for a second as we approach it, and then we go into another part of the imagination. And this sequence and this lure that he's created that taps into some collective memory that we all have, which I suppose is in itself a kind of definition of what myth is, as distinct from history, is all adds up to the effectiveness of this experience. History is what happened, what we know about. We know where it happened and when it happened, but myth, we're not quite sure if it happened, but we all understand that it probably did, but we don't know where. And this is a Star Warsian kind of element that I think explains a big portion of why it resonates far beyond just a sort of space show for people. Well, whenever a film is so preceded by huge anticipations, this one is, you always, one little corner of your soul worries, will it come up to the expectation of what people want to or expect? I never make any assumptions with these things. Rather than assume anything, I just have hope. I hope that they will enjoy it and hope that they'll be moved by it and that it will be a big experience for them. I think it will be. I'll repeat, I certainly hope it will be. Well, this idea of hinting at themes that are to come, or suggesting and giving hints of themes that we already know, was for me a new experience in this Phantom Menace. I didn't have any of this thinking in the earlier three. But I think it's a thought that probably is going to emerge as being a more important thought as we move on to the next couple of episodes. In the choral piece in Phantom Menace, when George heard it, he said, that's the theme of the last film. I'm not sure what he means because he has something in his idea that I don't know about. But this musical image or picture seems to kind of connect in his mind with something that's yet to come. So I can imagine in the next episode that we'll be revisiting some of the music already now created for Phantom Menace, but having that evolve into other themes and other musical settings that at this moment I can't even imagine. It's a fascinating and unique thing to me, the way all of these branches of the Star Wars tree seem to keep growing out, or there was one there all the time, but we weren't aware of it. And but it was hinted at by something we'd heard or seen or read before. So it takes on a kind of organic. I mean, the whole project, all the films, takes on a kind of animate, organic quality that just adds to the interest, I think, for all of us fortunate enough to be working on it, and also for all of the audience taking part. It's almost like a certain kind of definition of the word community. I mean, we're all taking part in something that's going along, that's bigger than any one of us. The first thing we need to do is to hone down the score from 120 minutes to approximately 80 or 75 minutes that a CD will hold. And what I do in that process is to continue to file the music down so that it makes a musical program in the same way that I would build a concert program with an orchestra, that would have an opening, a beginning, a middle, and an end with a set of varying dynamics, the way you'd plan a menu almost. That speed is varied and dynamics are varied so that you have oral interest. You don't want to put all the loud music together and all the soft music together any more than you would in a concert program. So when we make concert programs, we almost kind of joke about it. We refer to it as a menu, but basically that's what it is. And so this becomes solely the oral with an A, representation of the soundtrack, and so I work out a musical program that is that I think is most listenable and most engaging in terms of the musical sounds themselves. The typical recording day on a film like this one is that we try to accomplish about 15 minutes of screen time each day. It's about what happens on the average, and we have really a use for everything we record. George and I have carefully discussed what we need and where it goes, and I do think that probably everything everything that we've recorded has been used. The recording process is really still, even with all the electronics that we have available today, with orchestra, the recording process is still that process where we want to capture a moment in time. And the moment, or the number of minutes, is a performance. It's good, bad, or indifferent. And actually, that's something that the machines and the computers and the synthesizers won't give to us. We may do 3 takes of the same scene, and the effect of the 3 takes from take to take is very different. And the third one may have a face on it that's just right, or it may seem alive in a way that the other 2 may seem stillborn. It's like any performance of anything that we do, actors do, or artists do. Musical performance from night to night will be very different. And that's the fun of it, and the magic of live performance, that we never do the same thing or exactly the same twice. And I think if we capture a great performance by orchestra and by cast and put it on the soundtrack of a film, the audience is experiencing something that's organic and alive and not synthesized and not manufactured by machines.